Episode 7 of The Husband changes the direction of the entire series. Until now, the story has largely focused on Tae Ju trying to rescue Se-yoon while stopping Man Hee's twisted plans. By the end of this episode, however, it becomes increasingly clear that Man Hee may not be acting alone. Instead of closing the mystery, Episode 7 opens an even bigger one. The kidnappings may only be one piece of a much larger conspiracy. That revelation transforms the story from a straightforward thriller into something far more complicated. The episode also marks another important step in Tae Ju's evolution. Throughout the series, he has constantly reacted to situations created by Man Hee. This time, he finally begins taking control. One of the episode's strongest scenes comes during his confrontation with Kyungae. Rather than relying on intimidation or violence, Tae Ju calmly dismantles her lies one by one. The conversation demonstrates exactly why he has become such an effective protagonist. His greatest strength has never been physical power alone. It is his ability to stay calm while everyone around him loses control. As a doctor, Tae Ju has spent years making life or death decisions under enormous pressure. Those same qualities now allow him to confront dangerous criminals without allowing fear to dictate his actions. The confrontation with Kyungae also reveals how much he has grown since the beginning of the series. Earlier episodes often showed him struggling to keep up with events unfolding around him. Now he understands his enemies much better. He recognizes manipulation when he sees it. He knows how to expose contradictions. Most importantly, he refuses to let Kyungae control the conversation. It is a satisfying moment because it feels genuinely earned. After everything Tae Ju has endured, watching him finally gain the upper hand provides one of the episode's biggest emotional victories. Unfortunately, while Tae Ju makes progress, Man Hee continues proving why he remains such a dangerous villain. Even though his health continues deteriorating, he somehow manages to escape once again. This raises obvious questions. Throughout the series, Tae Ju has repeatedly demonstrated he can physically overpower Man Hee. Yet, despite being weaker and under police supervision, Man Hee somehow escapes. From a storytelling perspective, this is probably the episode's weakest moment. The escape feels more convenient than believable. It keeps the villain active, but it does so by asking viewers to overlook some fairly significant logical problems. That said, the escape still serves an important narrative purpose. It reminds everyone that Man Hee remains extremely dangerous. He no longer has the luxury of carefully planning every move. Instead, desperation is beginning to define his behavior. Cornered villains are often the most unpredictable ones. With Kyungae hospitalized and many of his previous plans falling apart, Man Hee now has very little left to lose. That makes him even more frightening. Another important aspect of the episode is the increasingly personal nature of Man Hee's obsession. His actions no longer appear motivated solely by criminal ambition. His connection to both Tae Ju and Se-yoon clearly runs much deeper. The series continues teasing fragments of that history without fully revealing everything. Each new clue suggests these relationships extend further into the past than viewers originally believed. Exactly what happened remains uncertain, but the emotional intensity behind Man Hee's actions makes it obvious this conflict is about far more than kidnapping. The biggest revelation of Episode 7 arrives through the expanding conspiracy. Until now, it was easy to assume Man Hee and Kyungae were operating independently. The episode quietly challenges that assumption. Several suspicious moments involving the hospital director suggest there may be additional people working behind the scenes. His behavior repeatedly raises questions. He seems to know more than he should. His reactions often feel carefully controlled. The possibility that Kyungae has been working alongside him changes the entire investigation. If true, then the kidnappings are not isolated crimes committed by one unstable individual. They are part of an organized operation involving multiple participants. This is one of the smartest storytelling decisions the series has made. Rather than allowing the mystery to become repetitive, the writers broaden its scope. Every answer now creates several new questions. Who is really giving the orders? How many people are involved? What is the ultimate objective behind these kidnappings? Most importantly, can Man Hee actually be trusted to tell the truth about anything? The episode deliberately refuses to provide immediate answers. Instead, it encourages viewers to reconsider everything they thought they already understood. That uncertainty keeps the suspense alive. Alongside the conspiracy, the emotional conflict between Tae Ju and Tae Ju continues driving the story. Even after everything Tae Ju has sacrificed to protect her, Tae Ju still struggles to trust him completely. The main reason remains the mysterious video shown to her by Man Hee. The recording appears to place Tae Ju in an extremely suspicious position. However, Episode 7 still refuses to confirm whether viewers should believe it. This uncertainty becomes increasingly important. If the recording is genuine, then Tae Ju may still be hiding painful truths. If it has been manipulated, then Man Hee has successfully weaponized misinformation to destroy trust between two people who desperately need one another. At this stage, the series leans heavily towards the second possibility. Much of the evidence against Tae Ju feels circumstantial. Very little has been independently verified. That creates frustration because neither the characters nor the investigation seem to properly examine the video's authenticity. Given how advanced digital manipulation has become, proving whether the footage is genuine should be a priority. Instead, the accusation continues hanging over Tae Ju without receiving the careful scrutiny it deserves. That unresolved uncertainty keeps emotional tension high while also leaving viewers waiting for definitive answers. The episode also introduces another interesting moral dilemma through Kyungae's medical treatment. Although she has committed serious crimes, she is still a patient. As doctors, should medical professionals treat someone regardless of what they have done? Or should the suffering they caused influence those decisions? The series does not offer an easy answer. Instead, it quietly reminds viewers that medicine and justice are not always guided by the same principles. Doctors save lives. Courts determine guilt. That ethical conflict adds another thoughtful layer to an episode already filled with difficult choices. By the ending, no dramatic cliffhanger completely changes the story. Instead, Episode 7 succeeds by expanding its world. The central mystery becomes much larger than anyone previously imagined. Tae Ju grows into an even stronger protagonist. Man Hee becomes increasingly desperate and therefore increasingly dangerous. Tae Ju remains emotionally torn between fear and trust. And the possibility of a much larger organization lurking behind the kidnappings completely changes how viewers will approach the remaining episodes. Perhaps the most important takeaway from the ending is that appearances can no longer be trusted. Every alliance now feels questionable. Every authority figure becomes a potential suspect. Every explanation may hide another lie beneath it. That growing uncertainty is exactly what makes Episode 7 so effective. Rather than relying on shocking twists for the sake of surprise, it carefully widens the mystery while allowing its emotional conflicts to become even more personal. Although the episode does stumble with Man Hee's somewhat unbelievable escape, its character development, expanding conspiracy, and steadily increasing suspense ensure that the story continues moving towards what promises to be an explosive conclusion. With multiple unanswered questions still surrounding the hospital, Kyungae, the mysterious organization, and the truth behind Man Hee's past, Episode 7 leaves viewers with the feeling that the real mastermind may still be waiting in the shadows. And if that is true, then everything we have seen so far may only have been the beginning.